Welcome to Minute Messages, short messages designed to inspire and motivate you. So I was reading some fables from Aesop, and I came across one that was about a man and his son and a donkey. So there's this man and this son and the donkey, and they're going to the market, and as they're walking along, they pass some people, and they're like, "Hey, why are you guys all walking? You have a donkey, you might as well get on it and use it." And so the man decided to put the boy on the donkey, and then they continued. But soon they passed a group of men, and one of them said, "Hey, how come that lazy youngster is riding while he lets his father walk? Shouldn't it be the other way around?" So the man told his boy to get off, and he got on. Well, pretty soon they passed a couple of women, and one of them said, "Shame on that lazy man and making his poor little son trudge along." But the man didn't know what to do. But at last he took his boy up before him on the donkey. And so they're both riding on top, and they go through, and pretty soon they came at some more men. And they said, "Aren't you ashamed of yourself for overloading that poor donkey with the two of you on it?" So the man and the boy got off and tried to think about what they were going to do. And they thought and thought, till at last they cut down a pole, they tied the donkey's feet to it, and then they started going across, and, people were laughing, of course, as they went, as they were carrying this donkey between them. And they went across a bridge. And the donkey kicked, and one of his feet came loose, and it caused him to fall over the side, and he was drowned. There were some people who'd been following them, or a man who'd been following them, and he said, "Well, that will teach you." And so the moral of this story is, if you try to please all, you will please none. I think that's a good thing to remember in today's age. We live in an age where you can get access to everyone's opinion. What everyone thinks of you becomes very obvious. And the funny thing is, there was once someone who said that it's really none of our business what anyone else thinks of us. If you think about that, it's pretty true. Like, what does it matter what someone else is thinking of you? Their thoughts are their business, not really yours, so you shouldn't worry about what other people are thinking. But even more important than whether or not, people are thinking things you don't want them to about you is the fact that a true leader will take the time to research things out and think about them and come up with what he or she truly believes is the best option and will benefit the most people. And then they'll press forward with that. And there will always be critics. It does not matter. If you are at the top of anything or you are leading anyone at all, someone is going to criticize you. Someone is going to think that their opinion is better, their way is best, whatever. And that the more people you lead, the more criticism you will receive. So just pick something, make sure that you've researched it out, you've come up with some good options, and then go forward with that. And if something comes along that you really do think maybe you need to change, there's nothing wrong with that. But in the meantime, don't listen to every person who comes along, because they'll give you opposing points of view. I don't know if you ever noticed that people will give you exact opposite things and tell you this is the only way to do it, or this is the only way to do it. The funny thing is, most things in life have more than one way to do it, more than one correct way. And it's just an opinion of how that works best with someone else's schedule, or how that works best with someone else's talents. And so it's okay for you to have something different in mind for your company or your family or your school or your community or whatever that may be than someone else has. And, oftentimes they say that people who know the least often give their opinions the most. And it's because they don't know enough to even know that their opinions may not be that good. They haven't spent time reading and researching. They're just spouting off their opinions off the top of their head. Maybe they've gotten it from all their other friends on Facebook or whatever that may be. And so they're just spouting off opinions. Very seldom are people's opinions well researched out or even done by people who are experts at all and should know anything. And so the only people who are bigger fools than those who just go around spouting off all their opinions without having any sort of backing on it are the people who listen to them. So, kind of take that for, what it's worth, and don't be so afraid of what someone's thinking. Don't be afraid of their criticism. If you've researched it out, stand strong. Be confident in who you are and what you're capable of doing, and let that ride through the storms that will come of criticism towards you. And you'll probably find that you'll be way more successful. This boy and this man would have been way more successful if they'd have just chosen to keep walking. There's nothing wrong with all three of them walking. There was nothing wrong with one of them riding. There was nothing wrong. I mean, all these things were fine, but they kept getting more ridiculous as they kept listening to people. And that's usually what happens. Fools usually give ridiculous responses to things, sometimes that make no sense at all, and it's just not worth listening to those kind of people. Find people that do know things and make them part of, a mastermind alliance and get with them and worry about, try and come up with good things that actually make sense, that are logical, that maybe go with your gut feeling, and that can benefit people, and don't worry about the others. Thanks for listening, and make it a great day.